Welcome back to Shadow Man Remastered. Last time we took our first steps into the asylum, but not our last, and not the only steps we can take right now, because there is another section we can go into, the Cathedral of Pain, which is open to us. So we're just going to run over there real quick. Except, the enemies we killed last time are all back, because I did warp to and from this area. And I mentioned that before, that enemies do respawn when you do that. So we're just going to run past everyone real quick. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse, please. Excuse. There we go. Oh, hey. Shot me a couple times after I got in. They can't come in, though. Alright, last time we pulled lever number 2, which took us to the experimentation rooms. This time we're gonna hit lever number 3. The Cathedral of Pain is not a new area for Shadow Man. It was in the original game. But there is one important difference with the Cathedral this time round, which we will see in a bit. First, we're just going to take a little detour down here. Because if we take a look at the numbers for this level, it says there's one dark soul here. One single solitary soul, which is a little unusual for there to be only one in an entire level. Makes it sound like the level is not very important, but it is. It just doesn't have anything to do with the number of dark souls. But while we're here, we're just going to get this one soul, which is right there. There is a long path of hot coals down here. So this is a place we'll be coming back to eventually when we can walk on these coals. Just, you know, another thing to make a mental note of that we can't do right now. Let's make a big jump. Jump. There we go. You know, if you have both weapons out in both hands, you will not grab those ledges. You do have to put the weapons away to do that. You have to have at least one hand free.
Dark souls are mine.
All right. And as far as Cadeau go, we've almost reached 100. So once we do that, we'll go back to the Temple of Life. That's it for everything down here for right now. Up there's like a little slide. There's a couple of Cadeau in there. But, I mean, we can't jump up there. It's fine. We'll get to that later. Let's head back up. Now, Mike is wondering, how is it that the asylum sent 5 Dark Souls over from Deadside to Liveside for the 5 serial killers? Jaunty suggested that there might be 5 ritually slaughtered corpses somewhere in the asylum that we might want to look into. Well, we're going to get an idea of how this works up here in the asylum's movie theater. That's right. They got a movie theater. It's not IMAX or anything, but look, they got a screen made out of stretched human flesh is probably what that is. Here's a projector. Let's turn it on. We can get a look at what they're watching here in the asylum. So yeah, there's a torso, arms outstretched, its chest being pulled open with what's called a retractor key. And we've got one of those. We got it in the experimentation rooms. You can get a closer look at those bottom panels. You can see the progression from right to left is you take your dark soul, you put it in the torso in Deadside, comes out of a torso in Live Side, and then a person eats it, or whatever it is we do with these dark souls. That's how they got them. So we're looking for torsos that look like this. Also, that seems like that's jaunty. That's what that looks like. You know, moving pictures would have been real high tech, from the perspective of Jack the Ripper. I don't know about the other five. The other five live in the modern day, but to Jack, man, state of the art. Actually, that picture wasn't even moving, was it? No, it was just a still image.
Across the millennia, they have built a cathedral to pain and worship at its altars of blood.
All right, so we're in the cathedral proper. Let's just eliminate them so we can take a better look at things. All right. We've got a pit in the middle, maybe some sort of sacrificial pit. Leads down to those hot coals. There's the other end of that slide with the cadeau in them. We can make a jump to try to get them, but we'll wait until we can walk onto the hot coals to make that a bit safer. Nice stained glass window. And around us are 5 gates with symbols. It's an important room because this is how we can find the 5 serial killers. So, we have 1 retractor and 5 paths we can take. Which one will we take? We're going to go down this one for right now, just because there's an item I would like to get early on. Each of the paths has one of these little shrines in them. Let's turn the power on. Looks like it's decorated with bones, I think. Now, at the beginning of the game, we did get the file on the 5 serial killers. Let's look up the one we're about to encounter now. First, let's take a look at the introductory page. Thomas Deacon P.I. put this information together for Nettie. He says, Agneta, here is the information you requested regarding the 5 serial killers. Refer to yourself as the 5. My research has led me into areas I do not normally pursue. No demon spore, Asmodeus, as far as I can see. My sources tell me that each report is as current as it can be, especially the reports on Batrachian, Cruz, and Pike. The Batrachian report is particularly up to date, with a news item included that is only a week old. When studying the information, of particular note is the inclusion of symbols and poems at the crime scenes, along with the phrase, "For we are many," taken, I believe, from the Bible, Mark chapter 5, verse 9. Are these guys in cahoots, or is it simply coincidence? Knowing you as I do, Nettie, I cannot believe it's the latter. Anyway, hope the stuff proves useful. Best regards, Tom. So Thomas Deacon is a private investigator that Nettie uses to look into some maybe supernatural crimes in Live Side. Or maybe not so supernatural, considering we're just looking at some serial killers, right? Nothing supernatural about that, right? Well, let's look them up. Let's look up the picture that we can see in this one shrine. Here we go. Number 4. This is the picture. Criminal profile of serial offender known as the Home Improvement Killer. We don't have a photo of him, just this artist impression. Background. It is estimated that the offender known as the Home Improvement Killer has so far murdered 12 people of both sexes over a period of 2 years, in and around the New York area. A peculiar facet of this offender's signature behavior is that he leaves behind the skull of a baby canary. Hidden inside the skull is a piece of rolled-up paper, torn from a notebook. Written neatly on the paper in black ink is a poem, attachment 2A. Beneath which is drawn an arcane symbol, figure 1. And there it is. That's the symbol we saw above the door. It looks, I guess it's supposed to be a nail. Profile. A reclusive individual, white male in his late 20s, of low intelligence with a background in carpentry, introverted personality, has a strong misogynist tendency, with particular emphasis on mother resentment verging on psychosis. Disorganized in his personal life, yet highly organized insofar as his modus operandi for each killing is concerned, all of which seem to have taken place at night. Sightings. Suspect possibly seen leaving the scene of the crime, westbound along Braddock Avenue, in the early hours of August 30th, 1999. Description given: white male, 25 to 30, 5'8" to 6 feet tall, weight 150 pounds, dark brown hair, pale complexion, possibly wearing night vision goggles. Prime suspect. Name: Avery Marks. Aliases: Mark Avery, it's a terrible alias. Alan Hickox. Date of birth: January 18, 1973. Hair dark brown. Sex male. Eyes brown. Height 5'9". Race white. Weight 155 pounds. Scars and marks none. Place of birth: New York. Background. Indicted in 1997 for attacking a young woman in Greenwich Village. Disappeared while on bail. Paid for by mother. Also wanted for subsequent murder of Mrs. Cassie Marks. Offender's widowed mother. Offender's widowed mother. February 1998. Victim found in darkened bedroom. Offender had apparently switched off the power in her apartment house. Known to keep birds. Present whereabouts unknown. Photo of furniture, that's just skin. That is just a pile of skin right there. Attachment 2A. Poem found at crime scene, rolled up neatly inside skull of baby canary. From the east the idiot monster cometh, with nails to announce its blasphemous intent. In still dark chambers it awaits the shadow. Ibn body, scars of power, dark messiah with a hideous strength. For we are many. And that's it for serial killer number 4. His name is Avery Marks, and we're going to be looking for him in New York. Now, there's going to be a problem with actually finding him, as we will see, but, we'll get to that when we get to it. Each of the shrines has one of these structures. Let's just get what we can around it and see what's at the top. I could try to make the jump to get the cadeau, but, if we fall down, that's just hot coals down there. Alright, so this should look familiar. We saw this torso in the movie theater. This is how they travel between Deadside and Liveside, but it's closed. To open it, we need a retractor, which it just so happens we have. There we go. It's opened up now. Now, I mentioned that in the remastered version of the game, there is a significant difference here. That difference is that in the original version, 2 of the bodies were already opened up, and 3 of them were closed. Not so in the remastered version. In the remastered version, all 5 torsos are locked. So you have to find 5 retractors somewhere in the asylum to open them up. So that is one significant difference between the 2 versions. Let's head on inside. All right, we're in New York. But one important difference between the asylum and here is that here, Mike is not Shadow Man. Mike is just Mike. His gun is just a handgun. And his voodoo weapons are not here. Well, the engineer's key is, but, he doesn't need to use that. Fortunately, Mike has unlimited bullets in his handgun, but his handgun just fires bullets, it doesn't have the power to rip souls out or anything. And we don't have our Asan or our baton or any voodoo power. So Mike is a lot weaker in Liveside, both in terms of offense and defense. There are cadeaux in Liveside, for some reason. Fortunately, these boxes cannot stand up to the power of these bullets.
Sure is dark in here. Could do with some light.
It is dark. We are going to have to find some way to turn the lights on. There's our warp point.
This way, Mikey. Here's Johnny!
What the?
I bid you welcome. Enter freely and of your own will.
Don't mess with me, little man.
Little big man. Little big man.
Didn't your mama never tell you? It don't matter how big.
My mama loves me. She never loved you. My mama kisses me. My mama would never, never, ever kiss you. No, not never, ever kiss you. Come to mama now, baby. Sweet baby, come to mama. For we are many.
So that's Avery. He's a very agile man. He can jump all over the place, which is not good for us because he jumped up to a higher floor, I think, and we can't get up there.
I need to make this work.
You know, the elevator's not working because there's no power, and these stairs went out a long time ago. So Avery is real happy to see Mike. Clearly not afraid at all. He's going to toy with Mike as we explore this place. But we're just going to look around and see whatever it is we can find. There's a strange sound in the distance. And here's some of that skin we read about in the file. Avery loves it.
Sweet Jesus.
So here's one of Avery's victims. I think the idea is supposed to be that the victim is positioned with a tape recorder that's playing back the murder of the victim. That's, I think, what's happening there. Back when I did the original LP of the game, I did post the isolated voice files from the tape recorders without the game sound over them. And they are pretty intense. But actually, we're not here for that. We're here for this.
This should be useful.
It's a flashlight. Kind of mundane, but it's actually the reason I wanted to come to this level first of the 5 serial killers. Because now we got something that can create some light in Liveside. It doesn't work in Deadside. Is there any? No, there wasn't another door here. No, there wasn't. I guess, I don't know. I guess batteries don't work in Deadside or something because we can only use this in Liveside. There will be some light sources that we can use in Deadside, just not this. But the Liveside levels can get pretty dark, so it is good that we have this with us now. Not much light coming in the building. Most of the windows are covered with newspapers. I don't think I can actually see anything about what's on the newspapers. No. There's no legible text on that. Oh. Now that we're in Liveside, we get health back by from first aid kits. Not souls, because, I mean, why would souls be appearing here? We can hear birds chirping and see some bird houses here and there. They did say that Avery keeps birds.
Shit.
Well, the dog's not attacking, so I guess it's not a problem. We made it to the outside, but unfortunately there's no exit from this alley that lets us go into the rest of the city. Pretty dark day. Despite the darkness, however, Mike still cannot turn into Shadow Man during the day. He has to wait till night falls for that to happen. You can hear another tape recorder pretty close by. And the sound of a lot of buzzing flies. The fly buzzing is pretty intense. Okay. Did a full circle. Okay. If you're wondering what we're looking for, we're just looking for passageways that'll take us to different parts of the facility. But on occasion, Avery will attack us from nowhere. There he is. He did a lot of damage to me. He uses nail guns and just shot a whole bunch of nails at me. So he's just playing with Mike. Clearly, he's not afraid. But we made it up to the next floor. We almost have 100 Cadeau.
Oh my god, no!
Mike cannot believe what he's seeing. Many victims. Gotta wonder what this place might smell like. I mean, Mike does not comment on it. And I guess Avery's used to the smell.
This is terrible.
Okay, one of his victims is still alive. And was being kept in a box made of skin, I think is what this is. I mean, we could shoot the person or not, you know, whichever decision you want to make. Not going to hurt anyone. They're just kind of wandering around with no arms or face. This can be a... I mean, we can fall down there if we walk over it. That'll collapse. Okay, there we go. Avery does like to draw on the walls.
Huh?
I'm not sure what's puzzling Mike here. Saying huh about something, but I don't know what it is. Is it this? Possibly. He does a lot of damage in a short period of time. But we do have 100 Cadeau. which will give us more health once we get back to the Temple of Life.
Thank the Lord.
I guess the Lord thanking is about getting out of that one section and back into the main hallways. All right, we're on the next level here, above the floor. Before we head to the other side, let's see what else we can find around here. Again, the main purpose of what we're doing here is just to search the place. See what items and such we can find.
Must be something around here.
Must be something. There actually is going to be a problem with taking down Avery in the way that we are. Here's some TVs. They're not boxes, they're TVs. The problem is that we're Mike. We're not Shadow Man. And it was mentioned to us that we do need our shadow powers to fight the Five. But some things we don't need our powers for, like turning on the power.
And the good Lord said, "Let there be light."
Alright, so now it's brighter in this place. Not quite as dark. But the music changed.
Eat your meat!
Actually, I didn't realize that you could surprise him from behind. He was not facing us. But the important thing is that he didn't kill us, because we are low on health. Alright, since we turned the power on, not only the lights turn on, but this elevator is working now, too.
This is very good.
It is. I mean, you know, relatively. I'm sure Mike would prefer that he wouldn't have to do this at all, but the music changed again as we came up to the next floor. This can be kind of a tricky jump right here.
Made it.
There we go.
Baby!
The music faded out. And we have, like, no health left. Well, I mean, that floor is obviously going to collapse if we walk over it. Not that it really matters so much at this point, considering that we turned the elevator on. But first, let's look around here before we collapse some floors. I would say that for people who played the original game, most people would say that this level is maybe the most memorable. It's very different from the levels we've been playing before. It's very claustrophobic, a lot of dark corridors.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, we got some health. Dark corridors with macabre things. I mean, okay, my words failed me there.
There must be something down here.
There must be. Like Mike's just running down this passageway, holding out his gun in front of him, just shooting boxes, which is a great image.
Huh? God help us all.
Yes, Mike does not like the sight of that. That is just like, that's a skinned torso hanging by the head, the jaw. He does not like this. Mike disapproves of that. Here's another skin. Now, this is an interesting item.
This should be useful.
It should, but Mike doesn't know how yet. This is an accumulator. There are 5 of them total in the game. We won't be using that for a while yet, but each of the serial killer levels has 1 accumulator. It would be good for us to get them.
Unbelievable.
It is. Apparently, Avery's killed so many people that the blood is coursing from the top floor in a blood fall. Oh. Screen turns blue if we go underwater. There we go. And Mike can't get up there. Now, I mentioned that there would be a problem with trying to actually defeat Avery, and we've run into it. That being that we've come to an obstacle that Mike can't get past. Why? Well, he doesn't have his shadow powers, but he also doesn't have a particular item. Let's go back to the prophecy. The prophecy showed us the items that we pick up throughout the game and what they do. One of them is the point. To climb the falls of blood. If we get these special claws, we can climb blood falls. Well, here's a blood fall. We don't have the item, and also Mike's not Shadow Man, so we can't climb this. So this is blocking our way. We cannot continue forward. Now, this is how it is with all of the serial killer levels, actually. With all of them, there will be some kind of obstacle that will stop you from making forward progress. In this case, it's the bloodfall. In another, it might be that you have to swim underwater a long distance, and it's too far for Mike to go. He drowns, but Shadow Man doesn't have to breathe, so that's fine. Or in another level, you might have to go through a burning building, and Mike will die from the heat, but Shadow Man can take it. Things like that. In each of these levels, there will be something that will stop you from reaching the end. And in this case, it's a bloodfall. So the serial killers don't have a whole lot to worry about from Mike, as long as he is Mike, and not actually Shadow Man. So that is a problem that Mike is going to have to solve. How can he defeat these killers if he doesn't have his shadow powers? He needs those powers. We probably want to go back to Nettie and tell her the situation, and maybe she'll have an idea. First, let's go back to that one hallway with the collapsing floor. Might as well look at it now, since we've reached a dead end in New York for the time being. I don't think we can jump that.
Damn.
Yep, we could not. Oh, can I grab it? No? Okay. For some reason, we cannot grab those edges. We can take the elevator back up. Just want to see if we can see what's on the other side of that. Well, in any case, we have found out, Mike has, how the Dark Souls... I didn't make that jump. Like I said, it is a tricky jump. I'll have to concentrate on that. Mike has found out how the Dark Souls have been passing from Deadside to Liveside. Jaunty was right about the ritually sacrificed corpses. But the only trick is that Mike does need to find these retractors to open them up. Oh, again. I got it the first time. But I'm a little bit slow on the second and third. So Mike can't just open up all of them. He found the first retractor in the experimentation rooms. And I believe each of the asylum levels do have one retractor in them. There we go. Was that the other way? Let's just see. Yeah, it was this way. Can we grab that? If we jump and miss, can we grab the ledge? Oh, no. Does not seem like it. And I tried grabbing it from here. It didn't seem to work. This is one of those things that kind of bothers you a little bit. Like, I feel like I could do it, even though I'm frequently not doing it. Feel like you should be able to. No, you definitely cannot make that jump. And does not seem like you can grab the ledge. Okay. Just needed to satisfy my curiosity about it. I'm sure I did this very same thing years ago when I first played the game. That's like 21 years ago around. I'm sure I was doing that same thing, constantly jumping against that ledge, wondering, I feel like I should be able to get that. But no, we're gonna cut that short. We're just gonna stop trying to do that, because I feel like I'm just could keep trying to do that over and over again. Let's continue on. Like I said, we should get back to Nettie and tell her that we've met one of the 5, but we're having mic problems. We don't have our powers.
Nettie, I've found out how the 5 reach this world, but when I cross over from the asylum, it's always daytime, live side. And I'm going to need my powers as Shadow Man to truly kick their asses. Maybe I should just hang back and wait till nightfall, which ain't easy, because the 5 are after my blood.
No use hanging back, Mike. The prophecy's upon us, and with every hour we're drawing closer to its terrible conclusion.
Well, if I can't use my shadow powers on the 5, we're screwed.
I have an idea. Your esteemed predecessor, Maxime St. James, once spoke to me of l'eclipser, the bringer of night, an ancient blade said to release the shadow into the world of men. This blade's hidden deep within the heart of Deadside. You better find it and bring it back to me.
All right, Nettie has an idea. We have to find l'eclipser, a knife somewhere in Deadside, and that was mentioned in the prophecy. There it is. L'eclipser, the bringer of night, releasing the shadow into the world of men. There it is. It's made out of 3 pieces. Le soleil, la lune, la lame. We gotta find them. Let's see if Jaunty has anything to say. So Nettie says that if we get this knife, she can bring about the shadow into the world of men, and we can use our shadow powers in the daytime, which would definitely help in those live side levels.
Hey there, Mick. Any news?
Nettie's told me that my predecessor, Maxim St. James, hid a sacred dagger called l'eclipser deep within Deadside. She also informs me that I must find this dagger and bring it to her so that I may use my shadow powers in Lifeside and thereby strike down the 5. Do you have any idea where it may be hidden?
Excuse me? Now, let me get this right. You're asking me, a bloody gatekeeper, where the former Shadow Man might have hidden a sacred dagger in Deadside, intended for use by another Shadow Man?
I am.
Let me think. Could it be hidden under me hat? In me eye socket? In me left ear, if I had one, that is? No. What about in the parts of the bloody shadow, you idiot? I'll be along with you and stop asking me these bloody stupid questions.
Well, Jaunty does not have any patience for our questions, unfortunately. However, there is a place we can go. Back when we were doing the experimentation rooms, we got up to level 3 from getting Dark Souls. And we did encounter some level 3 doors previously. We never opened them up, because instead of doing that, I continued down the experimentation rooms, then went to the Cathedral of Pain, then went to see Avery in New York. But those level 3 doors are still there for us to open. Oh, hold on. Excuse. They're still there for us to open, so let's head down to where we saw those doors so we can open them up. You know, sometimes mention is made. Is that how you say that? You can say you can make mention, but can you say mention is made? Because it doesn't sound right. Sometimes mention is made about previous Shadow Men, but if the Shadow Men are immortal, what happened to those previous Shadow Men? Well, whoops. Might be a comics thing. We'd probably explain it. Probably something horrible. Alright, here's a level 3 door. Let's open it up.
Lord of Deadside. This should be useful.
Well, we've got the first piece of Eclipse already, La Lune. That was fast. But still 2 more to go. But we do have another door to open up.
I am the Lord of Deadside.
A spiral path taking us down further into the paths of shadow, which Jaunty says we should explore to find the pieces of Eclipse, and so far he's right. We found one here. But what we find now are a couple more doors. One is a level 7 door, and we're nowhere close to opening that. And here's a level 4 door. We cannot open this one either. But there is a path going down here into the next level. So down here is where we're going to go next time as we continue on with Shadow Man Remastered. But not quite yet, because hey, we just got a piece of Eclipse. Let's see if Nettie has anything new to say about it. Want to keep her updated about, our current status and what we're doing. Apparently we're in a real rush, because we can't wait for night to fall.
Okay, I got me a piece of Eclipse. St. James hid it in the paths of shadow.
That's good, Mike. But I gotta have all 3 pieces to work that powerful eclipse of voodoo and bring on the shadow in this world.
Yep, 1 piece is not enough. Gotta get all 3. Let's see if Jaunty has anything new to say about that. Yeah, you'd think Mike would just be able to wait until nightfall, but apparently that's too much time. We have to do this now. Right now. Apocalypse happening. Now. Immediately. Jaunty has nothing new to say.
Out! You could take somebody's eye out with that. You! Ah, what the hell are you playing at, you idiot?
Jaunty has nothing new to say. But there's also a third place we could go now. Not for some conversation, but for some life. Because we did get 100 Cadeau, so we can head back to the Temple of Life and increase our life meter. Yeah, I guess everything's happening very quickly and very immediately, considering we have to go get the pieces of the knife and bring the shadow upon the world of men, instead of just waiting for the sun to go down. I don't know, maybe the beginning of the game was at dawn, and there's just too much time is going to pass. Everything has to happen in one day. Alright, here we are in the final room of the Temple of Life. We've been here before. But this time we have 100 Cadeau, which we can use to make an offering.
These gifts I give to thee, O gracious Loa, O generous Loa, a spiritual trade for life beyond. My life force increases.
Yep, it increased by 1 more notch. And that's 1 of the altars down. We have 4 more to go. As we continue to collect Cadeau, we can continue to bring them here until our life meter is completely maxed out. As we continue on in Shadow Man Remastered, I believe the next area we're going to is not an asylum level, but rather I believe we're about to get our first meeting with the Sisters of Blood, the people who first put the Dark Souls in the Govi. They're hanging out in some temples around Deadside, and I think the next place we're going is the Temple of Fire, where we will meet them. They will not be happy to see Mike, however. As Mike Leroy continues the busiest day in his life as he attempts to try to stop the apocalypse at the millennium. Remember, this is 1999 and everything. In the year 2000, everything's going to end. Remember that. You remember that. It didn't end. You know why it didn't end? Because Mike Loa. That's why none of all that bad stuff happened when the clocks went to hit to the year 2000. This is a documentary. This Shadow Man is a documentary, if you didn't know, about why nothing bad happened when we hit the year 2000. So now you've been educated.